G.I. Joe fans, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Sergeant Savage Battle Bunker. Yes, we haven't done anything for Sergeant Savage for quite some time. So I figured we'd take a look at this one. I was just going through my toy dungeon here and kind of cleaning things up, dusting and rearranging everything, and I noticed that this one, the card was really beat up and it's starting to peel off the card itself. The bubble was peeling off the card itself, and I've been wanting to put this together and review it anyway, so I figured let's go ahead and do it before it just falls completely off the card and, you know, the pieces scatter everywhere. So let's go ahead and review it right now. So I was going to review a different Savage character today anyway, but this one, it's time. So let's go ahead and look at this one. It was released in 1995, the only year that Sergeant Savage was available. So it's the series was Sergeant Savage and the Screaming Eagles. The Battle Command Sergeant Savage was released in 95 as part of the Sergeant Savage and Screaming Eagles toy line, which also included a mini comic, Sergeant Savage versus General Blitz, Part 1, and Part 2 comes with the General Blitz Battle Bunker, which I do have. And this comes with many parts, so the battle bunker, so we'll assemble this as well as a part of the review. The battle bunker play set comes with a machine gun stand, a missile launcher, and it comes with sandbags, barbed wire, blah blah blah. We'll look at all that together. We'll read the file card as well. The body construction is the same mold as all the other Sergeant Savage characters, and it's just a repaint. Typical 1990s Joe fashion. They just repainted everything. Cost-cutting measures as well. The original retail price is not known for this, but I fortunately do have the sticker, the price tag. Pardon me for looking around the camera, it's kind of rude, but the original retail price, at least for this sticker, was $8.99. I do recall seeing this inside of KB Toys in 95. By this time, I was, 20, 21. I was married, and I do recall going into KB, and I was looking for more Joes. I was looking for the vintage G.I. Joes. And the only thing I found were Street Fighter, and I really didn't care for that line at all. And they didn't have any vintage Joes. And I asked about them, and they said, sorry, they're not making G.I. Joe anymore. And my heart just sunk. But they said, this is the new G.I. Joe. And I looked at it and my gosh, what are they doing? This wasn't G.I. Joe to me. yes, it says G.I. Joe on it, but it wasn't the G.I. Joe that I grew up with. It wasn't 3 3/4 inch Joes that we all know and loved. And so I bought the Sergeant Savage that came with the VHS. And I wanted to see what it was all about. And the cartoon was really cool. So I brought that home and watched it. And of course, my wife at the time was like, "What's this crap? What are you doing?" And she watches, "Oh, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah," just nagging me about it. And she said, "Why are you buying this stupid stuff?" And I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know what? You're buying these workout tapes and you're not even watching them. So why are you criticizing me on this stuff, and you're buying these workout tapes and you remember those silly home workout tapes? But anyway, it's a kind of a pot calling the kettle black scenario. But yeah, that was G.I. Joe. That was Sergeant Savage. So I just looked at her. I said, "Well, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I just want to find out what this is all about." I said, I like G.I. Joe, and I could watch this when you're not at home. She said, "No, just finish watching your stupid cartoon. I'll go over to my mom and dad's house." I said, "Okay." So she did, and I finished watching the cartoon. But yeah, it was. I did like the cartoon, and I was hoping that it would become a series, but it was just a one and done movie. The toy line was one and done that year. It just did not take off. And looking at it now, I wish they would have carried on with it, but it just did not catch on with collectors. So this is what I could figure, that Hasbro stepped back, took a 2-year hiatus, and they still did their conventions and everything and had convention exclusives, but 1997 they retooled and brought back to 3 3/4 inch, and we got those weird looking figures at first. The fiasco called Stars and Stripes, where we got Drunk Dookie and all of those figures, which I do regret not buying the Stars and Stripes collection. I saw those in a toy store, a vintage toy store, for $50, and I should have bought it right when I saw that, but I passed on it for who knows what reason. Because I had a handful of, I think because I had a handful of Joes that I really wanted. I figured, when I come back, it'll be there. No. And I never saw it again. Anyway, that's the past. We're not talking about those. We're talking about this Sergeant Savage. So this is going to take a little bit of time, so I won't waste it talking. So let's go ahead and take a look at this battle bunker and see what this is all about. I know a lot of you guys are fans of this specific comic book artist, so let's take a look at the comic as well. So here we go. Right, so let's take a final look at it here on the card. You can't see it on the upper corner here, but yeah, it's pretty toasty. Beat the heck. So let's go ahead and read his file card real quick here. It's a Sergeant Savage. File name Savage, Robert S. Birthplace Albany, New York. He's an E8. Serial number SVGA 5865566. Little dyslexia kicking in there, sorry. Primary military specialty, combat mission leader. And reads here in a quote, "The battlefield is filled with bomb craters and debris as shell fragments blast past our ears, but no matter how tough the fight gets, the Screaming Eagles and I keep fighting. As long as our battle-scarred bunker is standing, General Blitz, meaning General Lightning, will never penetrate our defense perimeter. I personally plan to keep the machine gun blasting away at him and his evil iron stormtroopers until I'm down to my last bullet. Then I'll send a special delivery of mortar fire over to those so-called soldiers to fry their circuitry and send them to the scrap heap once and for all." That's from his journal entry, and it's signed Sergeant Savage, Battle Command Sergeant Savage, and this is Hasbro Toy Division. And here are some of the toys that, well, 2 of the 3 vehicles that were available, and we already built these in prior videos. And here's some of the comic book art that was available at the time. Here on the back, pretty cool stuff. Right here, it shows it is worth 2 flag points. And the instructions on how to put this together. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this out. You can see where it was starting to peel off, so let's just take the whole thing off the card here. Trying to preserve it as best as I can. Here's the little comic. Joe Kubert is the artist. I keep on wanting to say Stanley Kubrick. No, he's not the movie director. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's throw this crap out. Now, how many of you guys used to keep the bubbles and play with them as kids? I did. Okay, his helmet fell on the floor. Okay, here's a little bag for the accessories. Keep those in there for right now. Sitting in a very awkward position, so we'll look at the comic here later. The battle bunker, look at that, has a cool little action feature here. Little Ma-Deuce firing mortar. Oh, okay. See how that works. Oh, we'll find all that out with the instructions. Okay, take a look at Savage here. You can see his skin is starting to yellow a little bit. That is something that I never really paid much attention to. That's new to me. You can see here the flesh tone, but I didn't know these would yellow. That's pretty interesting. This looks like British camo here, but no O-rings on these guys. And I never liked the articulation on these. you know, the hands especially, because they couldn't really hold the weapons in a way that was realistic. And of course he has the World War II, Korea, Vietnam era K-pots, or not the K-pot, but the steel that was all surplus from World War II. My dad even mentioned that he had K rations when he was in Nam, that was from World War II, as he was at the very beginning of the Vietnam War, late 50s, early 60s, when America was technically not supposed to be over there. So the barbed wire here is rubber. Pretty interesting. I thought this would have been hard plastic, but it's rubber. So you tie that in a knot. Okay, and we have wood poles here. So, okay, the barbed wire see, you could just kind of put it here in the front. All this is going to be fun. Being so flexible. So it looks like you could put it in many different positions. Multi-positional barbed wire. Okay, that's why it's rubber. That makes sense now. Okay, no set position for the barbed wire. Let's take a look at the poles here. So one goes right here. There's a slot right here in the front. This is kind of going together like the outpost defender. Guess that's where they got the idea from. And here's a slot here on the side. For the other one, I don't think it really matters what direction these go in. And another slot here on this side. And here's camouflage netting. That just kind of fits over the top in any willy-nilly type direction. Oh, here's another piece of barbed wire. These little caps right here, they fit over the top of the barbed wire, or over the top of the net, to hold it into place. Whew. Sorry, putting a crook in my back. So those little pegs right here, you see that fits right on there. That's pretty nice. That's some forward thinking there. So it fits right on there to hold it into place. I like that. And here are rubberized bullets to fit right into the side of the Browning. Another piece of barbed wire here. This is actually pretty cool. Okay, so the other piece of barbed wire just kind of went. You can set it up any way you really want it, which is really neat. And it doesn't fight you to go into those little slots. And the rubberized coating makes it a lot nicer. And the mortars, of course, your typical 1990s missile and missile launcher. So it slots right in there. And I'm assuming moving this back and forth is supposed to fire the missile, and it works. Okay. So you pull this back and it fires the missile. But mine doesn't work as well. But it's a self-firing missile. Let me pause this to get my missile back. And there you go, Sergeant Savage kneeling down behind the bunker. Looking all tough and rough, ready to go. Not a bad little play set. I love the play factor on this, especially the self-firing missile with the little trigger activator here. Not a lot of room for the figure, but this is a great little diorama piece. Very fun. I would have had a great time with this as a kid. Very cool piece to display for a diorama. Not hard at all to put together. The action figure, not bad looking. I already stated my opinion about the hands as far as being able to hold the weapon in a real world pose. But all in all, not bad at all. All in all, not bad at all, you know. Byron, come up with better language. Even Pink Floyd had better all in all. You know, just another brick in the wall. Yeah, everything together, it's not a bad toy. The action figure, you know, I wish the hands were more in a fist position instead of like that, because he could only hold the rifle if he had one in one position, and he couldn't, I guess, you know, hold it like this, but you couldn't hold it in an actual firing pose like we did with our 3 3/4 inch Joes. But let's go ahead and read this very cool comic by Joe Kubert. Here's the back of it. Sergeant Savage versus General Blitz, Part 1. Okay. Whoomp blam. Okay, so there's a mortar hitting the ground. Get into the bunker, Screaming Eagles. General Blitz wants that atomic plan. We got a hold right here. Sarge, the Iron Army is flanking us. A squad of robots. So that's General Blitz. He has a robot army. They're closing in on us, Sarge. Blam! Get to the other side, Joes. Hit 'em hard, Joes. Rat tat 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 tat. Crack. Sergeant Savage is standing up on the sandbags. Okay, Screaming Eagles, this Iron Army squad is pacified. Let's get back into the bunker. What do we do now, Sarge? Yeah, that ain't the end. Blitz is coming at us again. We just sit and wait, Screaming Eagles. That's him saying, just kiss my butt. Only a short distance away, a bunker is manned by General Blitz and his Iron Army. We just seized the atomic plant beyond Savage's bunker. The bunker protects them too well. We just overrun them and by force of arms and dyslexia again. We just overrun them by force and arms and power and robot power. I am sorry, guys. Keep firing. Don't let up. Blam, 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 blam. Anytime you see Blitz with that whited out eye, that's the robot Blitz. Oh, I'm sorry, Blitz with the brown uniform. That's the robot Blitz. Pardon me. Rat tat 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 tat. Rat. Amidst the unrelenting barrage of fiery steel and shrapnel, each side holds a bunker. Prepare to charge. Get set, you Screaming Eagles. They're coming. Continued in Book 2. I love that picture right there. That is so cool. So there you go. We'll have to put together the second bunker to find out what happens in Book 2. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. This was a fun build and review. This is a great toy. Excellent for dioramas, definitely. I'm going to have to set this up in my display case because I just don't have any much room to display it. I have a shelf right here in the toy dungeon, but I have a lot of my Amigo monsters and some classified figures up on top of it, but I think I could make room in there. So let's go ahead and get into my favorite segment of Byron's Gripes. For those of you who are just joining or sticking around this far, thank you guys very much for doing so. I really appreciate you guys sticking around this far. I do Byron's Gripes as a means of entertainment, as well as education for those who are just getting started into collecting. This gives you an idea of what to expect as far as prices go. I use eBay just for a reference and for the mere convenience. There are so many very good sites out there that sell vintage and modern G.I. Joes. I do recommend that you go to your local vintage toy stores as well as comic book shops and used bookstores. You can find toys there as well. you're supporting a local business and helping a neighbor. I'll also hit up your thrift stores. You never know what you'll find in there. Local flea markets, car boot sales for those in the UK and Canada. So definitely hit those up first. You'll get decent, better prices than you will online, and you don't have to pay for shipping. So anyway, eBay is just for the mere convenience of for the review. I don't do it to pick on eBay or the sellers. I use eBay myself to sell. So if you want bullying, go somewhere else. You won't find bullying here. But I do pick on the prices because it is so much fun. And some of these prices are just so outlandish. So let's go ahead and get started. Disclaimer out of the way. Here is a complete battle bunker, $30. I'm going to put that up with deal of the day. That's not bad. Here is one that's incomplete, but comes with two different Sergeant Savage. 1995. No, not really. No, that's a bit out of the way on that. Free shipping. Here is one that is packaged. Now watch out with this, because this wasn't a very popular toy line, so people will get you on the shipping. Here is one that's selling for $20.99. I would say that's deal of the day, but they're wanting $18.05 for shipping. Here is another one for $29.99, $13.45 in shipping. Here is a Sergeant Savage by himself. Just bare bones, $5.88. That's cool. You could build up an army with these guys. Now I'll put that up with deal of the day. This isn't, we're not talking about General Blitz, so we're not going to even go there right now. Here is a missile for this bunker, $3. Here is a bare bones bunker, $4.99. Again, shipping, $12.55. Not really, no. $9.63 for a bare bones Savage. No. $9.63 is pretty expensive. Now here's another bare bones Savage, $9.99. Not going to go there. Here is a pole. Excuse me, allergies are kicking in. Here's a pole for the battle bunker, $2.99. Here's a rocket launcher, $2.99. Here's some of the barbed wire, $3.99. That's the Desert Camo Sergeant Savage. That was a mail away, the only mail away offer for Sergeant Savage, $29.99. But we'll talk about him later when we review him. And that was the one I was going to review today, but decided to do the battle bunker. But we'll talk about that guy later. Why is my voice cracking? Because of the allergies. I thought I was way past that. I'm pushing 50 years old and my voice is still cracking. Maybe it's menopause. So what are we coming up on the end here for the battle bunker? Okay, here's a missile, $2.99. So yeah, guys, that's it for the battle bunker. Gosh, Byron's gripes kind of sucked today. I'm going to gripe about that. No battle bunkers available that I could gripe about. Yeah, I'm griping about the shipping on these, because these don't sell very well. It wasn't a popular toy line, so people just don't buy these. So, sellers are having to increase the price on shipping to recoup some money. That I certainly can understand, but you could find a better deal on these at your vintage toy stores. But I did have a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun doing this toy build and review. This is a very cool toy. I learned something new. I didn't know the skin on these could yellow. So these, is a learn as we go kind of thing. I learn with these as we do the reviews. So, I am by far no expert in G.I. Joe, but I won't take up any more of your time. The build took up some time. So anyway, you guys, you take care. Remember, we're right into cold and flu season. Wash your hands, guys. First line of defense right there. Keep your hands clean. Flu vaccines are available. If you choose to get vaccinated, please do. You're not only doing yourself a favor, but you're helping everybody else out with that. Remember, be kind to yourselves. Be kind to everyone around you. You never know what kind of day somebody's having. A little act of kindness goes a long way with somebody who is having a bad day. I'm speaking from experience with that. Also, don't forget to be kind to your animals. They know nothing but unconditional love. This is Joe Motion Videos 82 signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review. See you later.